he replied, "The UK has become a police state." So this is an opportunity, Cameron, for you to talk to the world. After what happened to you, what would be your message to Elon Musk?
Thank you. All I can say is thank you. Thank you to every single person that is supporting me and not against me for a TikTok live video.
And what about Keir Starmer?
Wow. I have no words for him at all. No words.
Do you feel like you were a political prisoner?
Yeah. 1,000,000%.
You'll remember the case of Cameron Bell. It shook the world. When Elon Musk, the owner of X, heard about it, he posted that the UK has become a police state. Cameron Bell was a 23-year-old care worker. Good woman, by all accounts, someone who was in a profession helping others. On the night of August the 4th, 2024, after a shift as a care home worker, she was walking through Tamworth on the night of unrest following the Southport massacre. She live streamed some of the unrest that she saw in the streets. She was not involved in any violence herself. She did not encourage any violence herself. But she was heard on this live TikTok stream, where I believe she was operating as a citizen journalist. She was heard referring to illegal migrants as tramps. Now, Cameron Bell, this 23-year-old young woman with her whole life ahead of her, was jailed for 9 months. She was remanded in custody almost immediately, only released yesterday. And I am delighted to say that she is giving her first interview today to Outspoken alongside Mark Heath, who also faced political persecution as a result of social media posts that he made following the Southport massacre. However, he pled not guilty and was cleared by a jury of his peers. And it's so great to have both of them with us today. So Cameron, I can only imagine how you're feeling, what you've been through these past few months. But I guess you must have been heartened when you learned that Elon Musk, the richest, the most powerful man in the world, was bringing the injustice of your case to international attention.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was, wow. To be honest, after obviously the past 4 months of being obviously inside a prison, and then I found out whilst I was in there that Elon Musk obviously had noticed it. It's just, I have no words really. It's just crazy.
And so, Cameron, can you talk me through what happened? So you're working what, at a care home?
I was working in the community, so I go to their houses.
Got it. And so you'll finish your shift on the 4th of August.
Yeah.
And you're on your way home walking, is that right?
Yeah, going through the town centre.
And what do you see?
So there was just like, there was a load of people around. There was a line of police. So I went live on TikTok, made obviously a comment that got me a 9-month sentence.
And can I just ask, because I'm obviously a journalist, right? But if I see something going on, my reaction is to want to share it, especially if it's something that is newsworthy. And that's something that people
Yeah.
do now on TikTok or X or YouTube. It's all part of citizen journalism. So I presume that's why you were filming. You weren't filming saying to people, oh, come on down, join the violence.
Yeah, no, I weren't at all trying to get anyone to come down. I was just there filming because of obviously what was going on.
And you were never accused of being involved in any violence yourself or encouraging the violence.
No.
So how on earth, Cameron, did the police ever come to arrest you?
I think it was because obviously I'm a carer. I was live. I just finished my shift and people screen recorded my live video and they started slandering me all over Facebook, all over TikTok. Obviously I was a care worker and I was live. I had awful messages come to me about what people were going to do to me because I had attended this riot. It was just awful.
So someone reported you to the police. Is that your understanding?
Yeah.
And when the police came to arrest you, I imagine that you could not believe in a million years that you were about to be locked up in jail.
Yeah, I had no idea. Obviously, when they come to my address, they originally did come for my partner, who he's still inside at the moment. But
and
then
what had he done, Cameron?
Nothing at all. Nothing. He was just walking through the town
with you.
Me. Yeah.
Okay, and so the police arrest you, and are you immediately locked up?
No, so they arrested me at 9 o'clock the Friday morning. So Friday the 9th of August, I got arrested at 9 o'clock in the morning.
So 5 days after the event.
Yeah. I was took to the police station where they held me under for 24 hours. When that 24 hours was over, they brought me to the desk and told me they were extending my stay for an extra 12 hours. And then when them 12 hours were over, they pulled me to the desk and told me that I was being charged and I was attending court on the Monday morning.
But did you know at that point you were not going to receive bail?
No.
So what happens? Sorry, you go on.
I did ask them, obviously, if it was possible I could get bail. They told me no, and I was to stay in the police cell until Monday morning court.
And then you go to court, you don't receive bail, and you're transported to prison?
Yeah.
What was it like?
It was awful, honestly. I just felt like my whole world come crashing down. I never in a million years expected to be took to prison.
And Mark, obviously we spoke last week, and he suffered what appears to be a targeted attack by a gang of Asian men in prison. Were you subjected to any form of violence? Cameron?
Oh, sorry.
Were you subjected to any form of violence?
Intimidation. I would. Oh.
So they knew presumably that you were inside because of something connected to the Southport so-called riots.
Yeah.
And Mark,
sorry, a lot of people were made aware, that what I was in there for.
And Mark, obviously, in a sane world, neither of you posed any threat to the public. So you would usually be expected to have been released on bail, right? But clearly a political point was being made here.
100%, yeah. The whole point of the whole thing was just to silence people, stop people having a voice, free speech. There's things that people have been getting locked up for are ludicrous, and it's then life's affected. Like Cameron's life will be affected now. She might not get over this for a long period of time. She might not get over it at all. It's certainly affected me. It's affected my health, and it's just been done for one reason and one reason only, and that is to quell free speech and to shut everything down. And let's be honest, and this was because people were saying certain things about certain individuals that we now know to be true.
Well, indeed. And I do want to come to that. But the next big decision for you, Cameron, was to plead guilty, right? Now,
Yeah.
I would say, why did you do that? Because I don't think you were guilty for a moment. But I have spoken to others who are in this situation who felt like they were coerced into doing so. Is that your experience?
Yeah. So obviously when I got took to the prison, I had a meeting with my solicitor, and he basically told me if I didn't go guilty, I'd be on remand up until May next year. Obviously, I've been a healthcare worker for 5 years. That being thrown at me, I couldn't stay on remand up until May next year.
No way. Of course you couldn't. But you did lose your job.
I did.
What happened there?
So I woke up on the morning after I was live to an email from my work company telling me that I was instantly dismissed. They didn't hear my side of the story. All they had was the people that were against me. They were phoning up the company I worked for, telling them that I was racist, that I had been involved in the whole riot. My work company knew I weren't involved because I was working whilst the riot was happening, but they didn't listen to my side of the story. I just had an email to say I was instantly dismissed, and that was it.
And what sort of people did you care for, Cameron?
Elderly, the vulnerable, yeah.
A job that we really need you doing, right?
Yeah.
That's something that I find so astonishing about all of this. Now, can I just ask how you felt about the Southport massacre? Were you angry? Were you disgusted? Were you horrified?
Yeah, obviously I was horrified at what had happened. I don't really follow the news, so I didn't know who had done it, how it even happened. I just heard that obviously was it a party that was happening for obviously young people, and unfortunately three young girls got killed, and then just loads of riots had broken out.
Yeah, indeed. And I guess the problem is we were lied to, weren't we? I mean, we weren't told the whole truth, but
No.
You, to be very clear, had not posted any speculation or any personal opinion about Axel Rudakabana or about the circumstances of the Southport massacre tragedy at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
And what did you see in Tamworth that night? What was actually being streamed on your TikTok?
So when I was live streaming on TikTok, I was just at the castle grounds where all it was the line of the police. The riot was over. It was just the police clearing everyone away. There was no violence going on, no fires, nothing. It was just a line of police getting people away from the area and sending everyone home.
And Mark, can you understand at all why the authorities decided to make an example of Cameron? Because I just still don't get it.
No, I don't understand, to be honest. I mean, I've watched her TikTok video, as many people have, and I know she said that immigrants were tramps. But it's just an opinion. It's free speech. I said far more worse on the post that I posted on X. I'm very much more opinionated than what Cameron
Yes,
might
you
be.
were.
Oh yes, and I still am. But no, I don't understand any of it. I don't understand any of it. What I'm getting from the whole situation is that people are being shut down because there's a whole bigger scandal that's yet
Oh,
to
of
be
course.
revealed.
Of course. I mean, look, there has been a cover up. There has been a massive cover up. Nigel Farage has said this is one of the biggest cover ups of our lifetime. But to me, to make an example of both of you, but especially Cameron, 23-year-old young care worker just walking through Tamworth with her boyfriend, I think there's a very specific goal behind it, and it's to terrify young people into just not getting involved. Just don't say anything, don't get involved, and then everything will be okay. That's my only understanding of why on earth they would target you in that way. Can you just explain, Cameron, though, because some people will say, well, why did you describe an illegal migrant as a tramp? What had sparked that description?
So the asylum seekers that were housed in our hotel, they're housed right in between a leisure centre where plenty of children go every single day, and our town's biggest park. Quite a few of them were known to be standing outside the snow dome whilst the little kids were swimming, and they were recording them. They were going to the park whilst recording them as well. They were following young girls around. Obviously, it had been reported to the police, and the police come back to obviously the victims and said there's nothing they can do about it, and they don't have the power to seize their phones. So everyone had had enough, and that they took it into their own hands. That's my opinion as to why I called them tramps, because you shouldn't be filming any children, you shouldn't be following girls, you shouldn't be intimidating anybody, whether you're an asylum seeker, whatever. My judge at them calling them a tramp is not because they were asylum seekers, it was purely for the fact of what they were doing whilst being housed.
Indeed. Well, look, stand by, both of you, because I want to ask you a little bit more about Elon Musk in just 1 minute. So Cameron Bell, Mark Heath, don't go anywhere. But first, with the holidays creeping up faster than your aunt's fruitcake recipe, I've got something way better to share with you. The discount for Black Friday, by the way, is off the chart, so you are going to want to hear this today. If you want to look sharp for all those festive gatherings and maybe finally win the Best Groomed at the Family Dinner Award, check out the latest from Manscaped, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver. Trust me, it's like Rudolph for your face, guiding you to a smooth, irritation-free shave. So let's dive into the goods. The Chairman Pro is armed with not one, but 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. Think of them as your grooming superheroes. The skin-safe 4-blade foil for when you want that baby's bottom smooth, and the skin-safe stubble trimmer for when you want to keep some stubble but clean it up a bit. Both keep you looking sharp while minimizing razor burn and irritation, because nobody wants to show up to the holiday party looking like they lost a fight with the Christmas tree. But wait, there's more. The Chairman Pro has Flex Adjust technology, which is basically like the holiday miracle of shaving, like Santa's elves just made it for you. The blades and pivoting head adjust to every curve of your face. It's gentle on the neck area too, as if they had the gift of foresight. So go on, kiss that awkward jawline patch goodbye. No more pretending it doesn't exist while you hope nobody notices under the mistletoe. And if you want an even more precision shave, on the right side of the bracket, there's this thing called a precision lock. When you lock it, the blade head sits firm so you can achieve a more precise shave. And here's something that's going to make your grooming routine even easier. The Chairman Pro is waterproof, so you can use it right in the shower. And the waterproof feature doesn't just make shaving easier, it also simplifies cleanup too. So just a quick rinse under the sink and you're all set. The Chairman Pro isn't just for daily shaves either. It's powerful enough to tackle up to 5-day growth, making it perfect whether you're shaving every day or just tidying up after a few days. And with up to 75 minutes of runtime on a single charge, you'll have plenty of juice to go from Santa's beard to smooth as an angel. It even has a travel lock, by the way, to help make sure it doesn't accidentally turn on in your bag, and an LED spotlight to help you see every detail, ensuring nothing gets missed. So get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. It has everything you need to keep your face looking and feeling its best, all in one box. So head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using the code Outspoken for free shipping. And guess what? To mark Black Friday this week, 25% off. That's www.manscaped.com. Remember to use the coupon code Outspoken at checkout. But now, back to the show. Cameron Bell, I can only imagine how concerned you are about your future and how this conviction will impact you. In saying that, let me just tell you, there has been huge support. When I discussed your case with Mark Heath, I had people reaching out saying, we want to help Cameron get work. We can't believe this has happened to her. But talk to me about the fears of your future.
Oh, they're all there. Obviously, I've been in the best job I could have ever wished for. My dream was to become a paramedic eventually. Now, I ain't getting that no more, am I?
Oh,
I've got a criminal
that's
conviction for
devastating.
life for one comment, and my career is just gone now.
So what's your plan?
No idea. Obviously, as much as I would love to go back into the care industry and become a paramedic, I think I ain't going to get that chance no more, and I'm going to have to look at getting a warehouse job or somewhere that is going to take me on with a criminal conviction.
Mark, it's just heartbreaking, isn't it?
It is, and these are the repercussions of what's happened to these people. Just from a short spell inside prison, Cameron's lost the job that she loves. She's lost and she has lost the chance to go into the paramedics because of a criminal conviction. I think it's scandalous. I really do. For doing a live screen and making one comment. I mean, this unfortunately is the country we live in at the moment. And a young girl like Cameron, who I've spoke to yesterday, and Chrissy, who's her guardian or mum, she calls her mum. You know, the backlash that they've got, and I've seen some screenshots of the abuse that they've got on Facebook and things like this. And this is now their new norm, and it's not fair, and it shouldn't be fair. And so, yeah, I put out a plea there. If anybody knows anything they can do to help Cameron, then I'm sure she'll be grateful. She doesn't deserve what's happened to her. She shouldn't have been in prison in the first place, and she certainly shouldn't have a criminal conviction for the rest of her life. So I'm passionate about this, and I'm passionate about trying to help people inside the families of Cameron knows this. So all I can say really is keep your head held high. You haven't done anything. You know, you shouldn't have been in the position that you were in. There are people that are going to help you. You know that. I've told you that as well. And I know Dan's been getting messages as well.
Yeah,
of
I have people
saying
saying we want to help get Cameron a job and that sort of thing. Cameron, how dark did it get for you in prison? I'm not sure if you're aware of the absolute tragedy of Peter Lynch, who was convicted for over 2 years and died in prison, said to have taken his own life.
Obviously, my experience in prison, it's awful. I generally hit rock bottom in prison. I was placed on an act, which is a suicide review thing. So I was placed on one of them for 2 weeks. My mental health was bad. I just locked myself away. I was constantly crying. For the first 3 weeks, when I actually arrived at the prison, I had no contact with my family. They wouldn't help me get any numbers. Obviously, my phone was seized. At the police station, when I got obviously released yesterday, I found out that my nan had contacted the custody that I was staying in over the weekend and left her number for me. I didn't get given it. So for 3 weeks, I went without speaking to any of my family, my friends. I was literally on my own. And the environment of a prison is just awful, and I would never, ever wish it upon anyone.
I spoke to Ray Connolly, who is the Conservative councillor who's married to Lucy Connolly, who is in prison for over 2 years, 2 years and 7 months, I think, for a post on X. Now, he said that she is sharing prison space with women who are in there for murder, who are in there for life. What was your experience with the fellow prisoners?
Yeah, where I was, there was a lot of women serving life imprisonment. I was also marked as a high risk, which obviously everyone was made aware about. So every day I was getting looks. People were spreading hate about me around, obviously, the wings. People were trying to get information, like different prisoners were trying to get information sent in about me. I really felt vulnerable in the prison. There is a lot of life is in there, a lot of people that you expect. Like, when I look at my situation to theirs, what they do in prison as well, it's just not a nice environment at all, and I'd never want to be back in there.
And you say you were intimidated but not physically hurt?
Yeah, so I wasn't physically hurt, but I had to stand in front of about 3-4 people that were obviously a different race, because they had heard of my crime and they was targeting me. So I had to stand in front of them and explain my situation, that I wasn't a racist. I didn't make any racist comments. I felt very vulnerable in that situation because I was there alone. It was just me surrounded by them people. But even after that, I was walking past people and they'd give me dirty looks. There was one girl, obviously, she tried to get her partner on the out to send in documents of my case, so she could get more people to intimidate me in the prison. But luckily, well, it's not luckily, but she didn't get the documents. The prison wouldn't allow her to have the documents. So I went to the people and I explained why I was in there. Just so I didn't want to look as if I was a bad person whilst I was in there, because I'm not a bad person.
Given what happened to Peter Lynch, and the fact that you were on suicide watch, did you ever have thoughts of harming yourself?
So whilst I was in there, I did harm myself, and that's when I got placed on the act. So I had a woman come in from the out. I'm not sure what team she was from, but it was to see if we needed support on how to not be racist. And I just broke down. She's seen the cuts over my arm. She reported it to one of the officers, and it was that day when I got pulled in and I was placed on the act.
Because at that point, I presume you just thought, this is such hell.
Yeah.
It's just easier to end it all. God.
Yeah, I sat there every night just thinking of a way to end my life.
God. For a stream on TikTok, which, if I had been there as a journalist in that situation, I would have made too. Look, I just want to show you the tweet, though, from Elon, because surely this gives you a bit of hope. a bit of positivity. Look, it's been viewed 53 million times. He was aware of your story, Cameron, and the fact that you were jailed for 9 months for streaming on TikTok this riot, and he replied, "The UK has become a police state." So this is an opportunity, Cameron, for you to talk to the world. After what happened to you, what would be your message to Elon Musk?
Thank you. All I can say is thank you. Thank you to every single person that is supporting me and not against me for a TikTok live video.
And what about Keir Starmer?
Wow. I have no words for him at all. No words.
Do you feel like you were a political prisoner?
Yeah. 1,000,000%.
I think you were too. Now, Mark, you're obviously doing great work to help the political prisoners. You have a Just Giving running at the moment, which is raising money for the political prisoners and also their families who were coerced to plead guilty unnecessarily. I guess the point is we've got to help these people.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the main point of it. Cameron is going to need help. She's going to need help to get her life back together, to get herself back on her feet. Some of the funds from that will be going directly to Cameron. I'll speak to her afterwards and just let her know how we're going to do that. So it is still live, and it's been live for a while, and I'm only going to keep it open until Sunday because we actually hit target a few days ago. So I've increased the target. I just want to see how far we can get it to go. And then once it's closed on Sunday, I'll start distributing those funds out to people that I'm in contact with. Cameron will be one of those people. So if you want to help, please go to my page at Mark Heath 45. I'll put the link up there. Please go on and just give what you can. It's payday for a coffee. Just help out as best as you can. It's going to benefit Cameron. It's going to benefit other people that I'm in contact with. So a direct plea really to anybody that feels disgusted as I do, and a lot of people do. Please give what you can, and I will do the rest. I will make sure it goes to people that need it. And Cameron, I've got your back. We're going to look after you. And I'll talk to you
and there's
about
so much support. There's so much support already coming through, Cameron, on our live chat. And by the way, it is worth clarifying for people who are asking, how on earth can you be out so soon? It's because you are obviously remanded in custody. So that portion of the sentence does count, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And also, presumably, because the jails are full, you were released after having served 40% of your sentence, I believe.
I'm not. So I was told I don't qualify for the 40%.
Okay.
My
Of course you
sentencing
don't.
wasn't actually. Yeah, I was told because of the crime I committed, I wouldn't qualify for the 40%.
Ludicrous, by the way, because the only people who are not meant to qualify are terrorists and sexual criminals. But I guess if you're a 23-year-old white working class girl walking home at night, you're a major threat to society. But look, Cameron Bell, I'm so glad you're out. I'm so glad you got through it. Thank God. And life will get better now because people know that this was a sham. Even Elon Musk knows, and we'll stay in touch with you. And Mark Heath, thank you for all you're doing for the political prisoners. It's been such a pleasure to have you both today on Outspoken.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.